In December of 2019, a couple, 47-year-old David Anderson and 50-year-old Francine Graham, more like Bonnie and Clyde, went on a rampage in 3 different neighboring cities, which led to the heaviest gun battles with law enforcement the state has ever seen in years. This is a recap and timeline of what happened during those times. On December 3rd of 2019, the windows of a car being driven by a Acidic man was shot out near Newark Airport. Luckily, the man wasn't hit. Police thought it was either a stray bullet, and the case went cold since there wasn't any lead or witnesses to the shooting. On December 7th, 4 days later, a Jersey City cab driver and dispatcher, Michael Romberger, was found dead in the trunk of his cab in Bayonne, New Jersey. He apparently had picked up the wrong fare that cold evening. All police had was a stolen U-Haul truck leaving the area. On December 10th, 3 days later, at around 12:30 p.m., a Jersey City detective, Joseph Seals, was at a cemetery in the back blocks on Garfield Avenue, meeting with an informant when he spotted that U-Haul truck and he approached it to investigate further. He ends up getting shot and killed as he gets closer to the truck. The suspect then made their way further into the middle of the city. While they were heading to that location, police had already gotten calls from witnesses of Officer Down by the cemetery. And as you can imagine, all the city resources were directed towards that area of an officer shot. But the suspects, who had just left the area of the cemetery, made their way to 223 Martin Luther King Drive between Bidwell and Bayview Avenue to a Kosher Supermarket in the stolen U-Haul truck, and they went on a whole nother rampage, one that could only resemble a war zone. It was like 2003 Baghdad in the streets of Jersey City. As soon as they parked, David could be seen exiting the van with his rifle drawn and pointed towards the market, while Francine was following behind. Calls started to pour in about the shooting, and police started making their way to that location. The first 2 officers who got there immediately engaged with the 2 who had barricaded themselves in the store. Their service pistol was no match for the heavy artillery that the duo came prepared with.
They shot the cop, yo. They shot the cop.
One of the officers was hit and trapped under heavy gunfire from across the street, and a brave female cop actually put her life in danger and ran to drag him out of harm's way while shots were ringing out. It was now apparent that this was a serious matter that needed all possible police resources. I was actually on Kennedy Boulevard that day by Dunkin' Donuts on the borderline of Bayonne. I saw helicopters hovering. I chalked it up as a raid or some hood fuckery going on, but then I started getting calls. What's going on? Nobody had anything straight other than just the city was at war. While still on the boulevard, I see Bayonne police speeding into the city. One of them was even in his personal car in plain clothes. He stops right across the street, hops out, opens his trunk and grabs his rifle, while other officers were speeding past with sirens blasting. Then I knew something serious was going on. This is what I captured on my cell phone that afternoon.
We got Bayonne coming into Jersey City. That boys better stay safe, man. They done shot a cop. Stay safe.
More and more police from all over the state, and even NYPD was coming in for reinforcement.
They gonna tear this boy up. They brought him from New York City.
This was no ordinary situation. Those guys were armed to the T. All the schools in the city went into lockdown as there was constant exchange of gunfire for about an hour straight. The Sacred Heart School across the street ended up turning into a base for police who directly engaged with them since they had the best line of sight.
It looks like a first-person shooter game, but for the police involved, it was as real as it gets.
Now hit one gun. I got a gun on the ground. Nope, he's still moving. Behind that behind the wood. Behind the wood.
Cops unloading a barrage of bullets from windows of empty classrooms at Sacred Heart School across the street battled the two suspects who had holed up inside the deli.
What's the school? Second floor,
He's still moving.
Hundreds of rounds exchanged for nearly 3 tense hours.
It's an officer. That's friendly inside of Sacred Heart. I say again, friendly, blue.
All right, friendly inside of Sacred Heart. There's friendly fire inside of Sacred Heart, 1352. 740 needs a mag. Anybody need it? No, it has a direct line of sight.
I'm coming down.
By the time a police tactical vehicle rams the front of the deli, the two suspects and their 3 victims were already dead.
4 or more hours later, after things quieted down a bit, police made their way into the market and discovered 5 people deceased, including 2 suspects, David and Francine. The victims in the supermarket were 24-year-old Moshe Deutsch and 49-year-old Douglas Miguel Rodriguez and 31-year-old Mindy Ferenczi, all of whom happened to be in the store at the wrong time. Police searched the U-Haul truck the suspect came in and found homemade explosives and more artillery. It was apparent these guys came to do more damage than they actually did. The door right next door to the supermarket was the entrance to a Jewish school that was packed, as you can imagine, during school hours. Luckily, they never made it out the store. The shooting gained national attention at the time. That was one of the worst shootings in recent history in the country, beyond the famous Hollywood bank robbery and 2 or 3 others. There was news reporters everywhere. Police now started to piece the puzzle together as to what happened that day. Initially, they thought the suspect picked that location randomly, but further evidence and investigation proved something different. Police said it was evidence that the suspect had been planning an attack for months, and they had checked out the market on Martin Luther King Drive on at least 2 different occasions and entered the store during one of those times, even driving by the business twice on that day of the shooting. They also searched other Jewish locations, including one in Bayonne, but they might have changed plans after that encounter with that officer at the cemetery. In the U-Haul truck on the day of the shooting, police say they found anti-police writing inside. David's social media post also suggests he didn't like Jews as well. Police were now able to determine that they were responsible for this first shooting close to Newark Airport.
Bullet holes in the inside roof of a car driven by a Hasidic man near Newark Airport a week before the attack at a Jewish market. A law enforcement source confirming to News 4. Investigators are looking into the possibility the shooting is linked to the suspects that opened fire in Jersey City. This picture shows how the window was shattered by the bullet. The man behind the wheel of the car reaching out to his rabbi when he saw this video of the U-Haul used by the killers. He remembered it was a U-Haul van next to him when his rear window shattered.
Up until that mass shooting, it wasn't anything that would have put either one of them on anyone's radar. But since that happened, and police started doing their forensic traces of their cell phone records, they were able to place them in the vicinity of the shooting at the time it occurred. It was a wild spree witnessing it firsthand. I'm just glad they didn't go into the next door, or it would have been a real tragic situation. Shout out to that lady cop who put her life on the line to save a fellow officer. That was real brave of her, and I salute that. Rest in peace to all those folks who just happened to be shopping at the wrong time. No room or place for hate. We can agree to disagree with each other. We don't have to harbor hate. It's on Now TV. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Anybody from the city, tap in the comments. Let me know where y'all was at that day. Y'all stay safe out here. Until next time, peace.